Welcome everyone, my name is Nicole and today we have a 30-minute full body flow to hopefully get to all the areas and leave you feeling nice and refreshed. So to begin, let's begin seated. Maybe you sit up on a block, a bolster. If you find this more comfortable, find your knees are riding high, do what you need to do to make the seat a little more pleasurable, and then root down through your sitting bones. Pull your core in and up slightly. Roll your shoulders down. Rest your hands down. And let's begin breathing deeply in through the nose, out the nose. Spending several moments here connecting to your breath. And if you'd like to set an intention for the class, you bring your hands to prayer, heart center. Pick a word that resonates with you, that you'd like to see more of in your life. Maybe it just pops into your mind. Maybe it's peace, love. And then go ahead and rest the hands down once again. And we're going to do a few seated cat-cows here, starting to warm up the spine. Pulling the core in as we hold onto the knees, round back, dropping the head, and then inhale, pulling through, broadening across your heart, sending your tailbones to the sky for seated cow, and then rock back and forth with your breath. And from here, let's take it into a circle, pick any direction, and do big spinal circles here. And switch. And then come to a neutral spine, switch the cross on your legs, and then reach off to the right, up and over with the left fingertips, and then press down with that bottom hand. So you create a little lift on the underside as well. Maybe look up. If your neck bugs you in any of the poses, you can leave it in a downward relaxed state. And then inhale, come through center, reach off the other way, up and over with those right fingertips, and then with that bottom hand, really give a little extra oomph, a little extra curve, and reach out with those right fingertips as much as you can. And then send your breath into your right side body. Inhale through center, and then we're going to forward, fold over our legs, making little suction cups with our fingertips to send our booty back so it's not lifting up, but staying rooted. And then drop your head, deep breaths. And then inhale, come back to seated. We're gonna come undone, move around to all fours. Rolling out the shoulders, swaying out the pelvis. Just bringing some organic movement, and then raise your right fingertips to the sky. Look up with them and then thread through. Drop your shoulder head about halfway. Twist open through your upper back. Inhale, come out. Take a moment to sway it out. Recenter. And then switch. Look up, twist open. Those left fingers. And then they're going to thread through the whole shoulder, head. Drop about halfway. And then you roll open through the upper back. Breathe deeply, core engaged. And inhale, come on out, back to all fours. We'll work through some balance, core work. Back bends here. And then you could always remember to stop at any of these points along the way, beginning with right fingertips, left toes, really reaching away from one another. Make sure this left wrist is under left shoulder, and then you can curl in if you feel like it. Exhale, press away. Inhale. Exhale. A few more. And back to all fours. We're going to switch sides, pausing at just the balance with our left fingers and right toes, keeping our core engaged, not splaying open through the hips, but keeping your pelvis level. And then if you feel like it, let's curl in. Exhale, press away. A few more. Last time. And back to all fours. Shaking it out. Let's do a little puppy pose here. Starting to send your arms out. Chest begins to lower towards the earth. And your forehead comes down, resting. If you feel like you can go further, the chest comes all the way down. And chin comes forward. And then we're going to slide through onto our belly, onto our forearms. Elbows under shoulders. Press your forearms down strongly, lifting through your heart. And then really draw those elbows in. See if you can get a little bit more. Pick one foot up, reach it back further, and do the same with the other one. Maybe do a little figure eights with your nose. And then lower Hands under shoulders now. Roll your right shoulder. Roll your left. Roll your right. Roll your left. And now we're going to roll up on the inhale. And exhale, roll down. And just play with having it feel good and being a fluid serpentine-like cobra. Got this from Shiva Ray. One more time. Roll up. Pause. Really rolling those shoulders down. And then not cranking with the hands, so I can still lift my hands up. And then lower. Rest your forehead down for a moment. Take a few breaths. And then clasp the hands behind the low back. Check out your shoulders, roll them up and down your back. And then inhale, lift your chest, lift your toes, pull your fist to the back of your mat. Chin stays level. Breathe. One more deep breath in and release. Now rest your forehead on your hands. Sway the hips gently side to side. And then bring your hands under your shoulders once more. Press onto all fours. Out. Curl your toes under, lift your knees, send your hips back towards your feet, and then hands pressing down strongly. Lift those hips to the sky, drop the head, take some breaths in downward dog, checking to make sure your hands, all fingers are spreading. Yeah. And then shift your weight forward, coming into plank, or lower your knees for half plank. Taking some breaths, getting strong. Maybe put in a little micro bend in the elbows. And then lower. Widen your knees as wide as the mat. Toes touch. Send your hips back towards your feet. Come in a child's pose for a moment. Rest your forehead down onto the earth or a block. And then inhale, coming up, shifting forward. We're going to lower our forearms down now. And you can keep your hands flat, or you can interlace your fingers. Check that your elbows are under your shoulders, and then notice what your shoulders are doing, if they're lifted out already, or if they're hanging out. So press down with your forearms, wrists to create the activation, lifting out of your shoulders. Curl those toes under. Lift your knees. Your core is engaged. And then you send those hips high. Dolphin pose. Maybe you want to walk your toes a little bit closer. Keep pressing down through those forearms so you don't start collapsing. And always remember to take breaks when you need it and walk out into forearm plank for a moment. Maybe rock side to side with the hips. And then lower all the way down. Beautiful. Pull length with your elbows. Get a little longer. And then rest down for a moment. Inhale, bend your knees, reach back for your ankles or your feet. You can always do one at a time as well. If you can't catch both, or we could lasso them. And when you're ready, we're going to, on the inhale, kick into our hands, lifting through our chest, breathing in, and then exhale, lowering, holding still. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. A few more, you're doing good. And we're gonna inhale, pause on the lift, breathe in, and exhale, release. Rest on your hands. Maybe sway those hips. And then draw your right knee up at a right angle. You can kind of come up into a sphinx, or you could just stay low, resting. Or whatever feels best for you at this moment. Do send breath into any sensations that come up in this pose. Encourage the relaxing of that right hip down. And then draw that right leg back. We're gonna switch sides. Left knee draws up. Half frog on the other side. Staying in our sphinx or resting. Maybe turn your head the other way if you were doing it one way or the other. Noticing any change. Does one side feel different than the other, or are they both even for you? drawing that leg back, pressing down through your hands, lifting through a plank. Exhale, pressing back into downward dog for a moment, few breaths. And then curling forward, stepping that right foot through, pausing in a little lunge. Trying to extend strongly out that back heel. Maybe let's almost lower our back knee and then press it straight. Press straight out through that back heel. Lowering almost, and then pressing the leg straight or straightish. Doesn't have to be straight. And beautiful. Now lower the leg all the way. Press through your front heel to start to activate this leg. So you send your right hip back, half splits. And so inhale, core engaged, coming forward, chin lifts. You have blocks to help stabilize on either side of the leg here as well. And then dropping the head finally, breathing. And then shifting back through here. So put a little weight in that left hand as you start to kind of turn open so you can kick that back foot in, lasso it or grab it, and then kind of create a resistance. So kicking the foot into the hand, hand into the foot, breathing. Release, coming back around your front foot, step back into all fours, lifting your knees and up into downward dog. Few breaths, hips high, because I'm pressing down strongly with my hands, and knees can stay as bent as they need to. And then we're going to step that left foot through now. And pause in low lunge. And then almost lower your back knee. And then press out the heels. A few more times. Almost lowering. Pressing out strongly. Exhale, press away. Inhale, lower. Last time. Now lower your back knee. Press through the front heel, sending your left hip back for half splits. Or engage, coming forward, my chin lifting. And then forward folding, dropping the head from there, breathing. And then inhale, shifting forward. We'll weight in the right arm now, so you can kind of turn open, kick the back foot in, create a little, or lasso it, right? Create a little resistance, a little bow action. Maybe look over that left shoulder. And then go ahead and release. Beautiful. Coming back around your front foot. Stepping it back. We'll do puppy once more. Knees under hips as we reach our hands out. Chest lowers. Forehead lowers. Breathe. And then sliding back through once more. Hands under shoulders. Roll them up and down your back. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. No arms. And then exhale, press back. Knees wide, toes touch for child's pose. Using your hands to come to a seat. Bringing the hips to the side. Drawing the legs around out in front of you. So we can prepare to lay down onto our backs. Taking a moment to get comfy here. And we're going to do a little bridge. Grab the outside edge of your mat. Pull it away like you're tearing it apart. Rolling those shoulders underneath of you. Then pressing down through your feet. Press your hips up. Maybe you like holding the mat. Maybe you want to clasp the hands under the low back and continually roll those shoulders more under you. And now with your feet, don't lift them, but the sensation of like you're kicking yourself in the butt. See if you can feel an activation in the back of your legs. Now push the feet away and see if you can notice your chin or your chest come more towards your chin. And now see if you can do both at the same time. And then release the hands, lower down slowly. A little roll there, hug the knees into you. And then cross your right leg over your left leg. Pick your booty up. Scooch it to the right some. Let the knees drop to the left. Reach. Look to the right. Breathe. Enjoy the twist. Now come back through center. Take a moment to re-straighten. And then left leg crosses over your right. Pick your hips up. Move them a smidge to the left and let the knees drop to the right. Reach. Look to the left. Breathe. And then inhale, knees back through center, coming undone. Bring them in once again. Maybe do a little happy baby, grabbing for the outside edges of the feet, knees to the outside of your torso, whole back, head pressing down, releasing. And then give yourself a hug, squeeze your muscles tight, maybe hold your breath for a moment. And when you can't hold it or you're ready, release out into shavasana, final resting pose. So our feet roll out, shoulders gently roll under, palms turn up. Maybe lightly roll your head side to side. Just trying to determine the most even, neutral place. Always remembering you can take any kind of variation that will bring you more comfort in this final resting pose. Maybe you would like a bolster under your knees, or eye pillow, or blanket. This is your time to let go and integrate. Please stay where you are, and I'll sit and hold space. We'll guide you out in just a few minutes. Always feel free to stay in shavasana as long as you like, or if you're ready to come out, roll to your right side, pause, take a few breaths, coming back to the room. And then as you feel ready, push yourself back to a seated position. Taking another few moments to notice how you're feeling and any changes from the beginning and end of class. Thank you so much for practicing with me. The light within me sees and recognizes the light within you. Take care.